What is that? Rick Springfield is here live. And say, did you watch that Laker game on Sunday? Some big numbers to talk about. All the entertainment stuff is just ahead. And I bet if Mark asks Rick Springfield about the EFX thing, Rick will hook him up for tickets. I'm confident.
He will have an explanation.
I need explaining here.
Rain Check City.
Yeah.
All right,
Sammy.
Sammy.
Here.
Thanks very much.
Plus, Rick Springfield is here live. We're back in just a moment with Sam and Rick. Don't go away.
Lately something's changed, it ain't hard to define. Just has got himself a girl, and she's watching him with those eyes, and she's loving him with that body. I just know it, and he's holding her in his arms late at night. You know I wish that I had...
JB, will Tyrese ever come back? Absolutely. All right, very good.
Good, thank goodness.
Quick check of the entertainment stories you might have missed
Rick
this
is
morning.
suddenly scared.
Rick is really scared. We got a surprise for you, Rick.
Yeah.
It says stars will reveal their first time, and they'll also get their first partners to tell all. All right? And the big Rick, would you be on that show?
No.
Okay. And the biggest story of all, I didn't think so.
I don't kiss and tell.
Kiss and tell. In the KTLA Times is Payola Back, radio stations in Portland, taking money to play songs. It is the front page of the LA Times. Chuck Phillips with the article. There it is. Logs link payments with radio airplay. Independent promoters list show the date a station airs a song and the amount of money or graft paid by the record label to get that song on the air. That story could have big, big impact. All right, he's written and performed some of the most enduring pop songs of the 80s. He sold more than 18 million records, multi-platinum albums, new CD, Grammys. It's all about Rick Springfield. And your latest project is sort of, well, we'll talk about the album in just a second, but this is a big decision, and people before you have made this decision, because when you commit to Las Vegas, how long do you commit for?
I've signed for a year.
Wow.
And it was, they came to me actually after Michael Crawford left the show's Effects, Effects Alive, and they came to me after Michael Crawford left about 5 years ago. And I was just writing the new album, and they came back 3 different times. I was touring and I was doing this album, and I finally said, all right, I'll do it. But it's been really incredible. It's an amazing show, and I'm very glad I chose to do it. When
Vegas wines and dines you, because they're particularly good at that, what do they do?
Wow.
What happens?
It's
private jet first.
Yeah, no, okay. They flew me up regular.
All right.
But there's the mansion, you know, wine and dining at the mansion, and basically it's not the. I mean, they're all great business people. They're all really. Richard Sturm, the guy that I mainly dealt with, head of entertainment there, is an incredible guy. He's very classy guy, and it was just, you know, it was laid right out on the table. You know, this is what the deal is. And my main concern was that going to Vegas, I didn't want there to be, you know, I didn't want to go to Vegas to die. And I'd really seen Vegas recently and saw what an incredible entertainment city it was. It's totally changed. It's a really, and there's some world-class shows there, and one of which is this show. And it's an amazing place. It's where you go to party, and I'm very, very proud to be part of it. It's really, it's a blast. But you express an interesting concern that I'm sure a lot of people have, where it's like, you know, Shecky Smith playing brunch. Well, you got the lounge lizard image, certainly as a musician, you know, that's kind of your worst nightmare. But the shows there's two Cirque du Soleil shows that are made especially for Vegas. There's De La Guardia, which is a great show. There's the Blue Man Group, which is selling out all the time. And there's this show, which there's nothing like it in the world. I mean, I can't even begin to explain what this show is like. There's mountains exploding, there's spaceships landing, there's dragons breathing fire, and I got to write some songs for it, and there's incredible dancing, choreographed and directed by Broadway director Jerry Mitchell, and it's truly incredible. Well, that's the one thing that's interesting, because I've seen it with other people. I've not seen it with you yet. It's a very different show as far as the energy. They saw my live show, and they said, we want to put that energy into this show, because the effects are what they are. They're incredible effects, but they wanted it, you know, to have more energy with the person driving it. Everyone's show has been different, and you know, they picked the energy out of my live show, and so we've done that. I think we've rocked it up a bit, and I play guitar in there. It's still Vegas. It's still a big show, you know, but I feel there's credibility to it, and it's an acting gig for me. You know, I play 4 different characters, and it's amazing. I'm having a blast doing it. And a big personal decision, I would think, because you have wife and family here in Southern California, and people make this decision all the time. I mean, a lot of people, not particularly in show business,
hey, do I move to Las Vegas? What did you weigh that? Would you?
Yeah, I did actually. We talked about it for a long time. Once we both decided that I should do it, because it was a joint decision because it affected the family. And first we said, okay, we'll all move. And then we presented it to the kids, and they're 15 and 12, and they said, you're moving, we're staying here. So we weighed it out, and eventually we decided it's a 45-minute flight for me. So let's keep them in school here with their friends here. My oldest son Liam has a band here. Joshie, my youngest son, has his life here, and Josh actually left it. I'm going out on the road now. We have a dark week, and I'm going out on the road, and Joshie's coming with me. But it was, we decided we'd see how the commute worked. I have a house in Vegas, and of course we have our house here. And it's difficult. I'm on the phone with them every night. But it's working, we've got summer coming up, and they'll come up a lot for that. So it's not like I disappear for a year, because being a father is the most important thing to me. And so the reason I took time off at the beginning was to establish a great relationship with my kids. Although I didn't see that right up here at the very beginning, that's really what it was all about for me. And I think that's helping me now, helping both of us now.
And you talk about doing the concert work. So you want to keep the Rick Springfield thing alive as well. Yeah. What are the shows like? Because I know Lisa Fox on Star. People just rave about. People just go nuts.
It's a really exciting show. It's a show that I always wanted it to be all through the '80s. When the audience has grown up, and they now relate much better to the songs. Because when I was writing those songs, I was a lot older than my audience in the '80s. I wrote about the death of my father. I wrote about sexual angst, and things that were happening in my life, my relationship with my wife, all the different ups and downs that we were going through. And more than anything, a song like My Father's Chair, which I wrote about the death of my father, has come back to me as fans have lost someone meaningful to them, and they've said, oh, now I know what that means. And not only I believe there's still something in the music for them as they grow up, because I was writing from a different age group, I was writing from a different point of view. And there were still pop songs, and there was something that they could get into. But I think there's still stories through the album. People that are into the albums. I'm not just saying the pop singles and that.
But when you strike like a power chord of Jesse's Girl, which I'd recommend, I can name that tune in one note. Is that when people really erupt?
Yeah, there's a few points in the show, and that's certainly one of the highlights. I even make a nod to it in Effects Alive, because they said, people aren't going to come and see you, and they're going to feel cheated if you don't at least say something about it or do so. We make a little nod to it, But live, there's an audience participation. I bring people up on stage. I love the fans. I mean, I talk to them, and hear there's some amazing stories. I mean, truly incredible stories of people's lives and how my music helped them through really difficult times, that's their issue. I mean, I don't say my music has any great healing power, but I think it's the person that connects to it and what it generates for them,
Speaking of amazing stories, we were talking about this before we went on. VH1 did a Behind the Music on You that was I thought particularly intimate, and was sort of warts and all. Were you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I was actually, because when they came to me and I said, yeah, I think it's a great idea. I said the only way that I want to do it is I want it to be honest, because it's the only, otherwise it's going to ring like image polishing, or it's going to ring untruthful. And I wanted it. I'm at the point in my life where I'm okay with, what's gone on. So I was and the only thing I was concerned about was my family, that they treated that with respect. I mean, what I've done and what I represent to certain people is everybody's different opinion. I have no control over that. But they were great. I thought it came out really well, and it's a very difficult thing to do, to put somebody's life into 1 hour. It's really, and there was a lot left on the cutting room floor, and but I thought it was an incredible job, and they've done a great job with everybody, I thought.
Let me show you a couple items about Rick Springfield, the new CD and ticket information for EFX. There it is, alive. That's a great shot. And then
That's a fan shot. They're all fan shots throughout the album.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. That's terrific.
They're amazing photographers out there.
If you want to see Rick at the MGM Grand and Rick, you have to talk to Mark Krisky to hook up his tickets, because he tried to see you, and you weren't there.
Right. All right. Anybody who wants to go to the show, it's on me.
Oh, so much for that. Don't say that to the people at home.
No, that's within here. You guys have to pay.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.